Welcome, dear listener, to this new video about the wargame Fenris Burns. So, we here will interest ourselves to how you play and the actual mechanism of the game. So, how does it begin? Each faction has a spawn place where they begin, of course, with a certain number of fleet, which will die eventually and be respawned themselves at this very location. How do they play? So each faction, let's take the Dark Mechanicum, Lord Roomba, have a certain number of range of movement, which mean a number of planets onwards they can cross. Let's just take the Mechanicum. So the Mechanicum is there. And they begin on the planet of Temporia, a forge world corrupted by the power of chaos, where they do their little experiments. From there they can move. They have a certain number of movements, let's say 2, and they can make 2 planets per movement. And they have a certain number of movement, which is here indicated by the green bar as 5, and they can make 5 movement of 2. Which means that if you move from Temporia to the planet of Sartorius, where other fleet of chaos are here, technically, they drop to 4. That's the basic of the game. They can also use this action to attack or nothing. So basically you have attack or move. That's the basic of the action. However, it's not that easy, because technically, as you can see, there is a certain pattern of planets. Some are greener than others, and the non-green planet have a certain ability, which means you cannot bypass them, because technically, in fact, if the Mechanicum here on Sartorius want to go from Sartorius to Tangier 2, he can do it. He can 2 ties, he do his 2 ties, and he's there. But he doesn't stop on Tangier. He just crosses. It's navy based, it's a sea, and he crosses the Sea of Stars. However, if he wants to go to, let's say, Auguston Station, he has a fort. And this fort has a very, very unique ability. His ability is basically, as a force, to stop movement. Which means the Mechanicus will lost another action. We've gone to 2 now, and we'll be stuck at the fort. And as long as he does not conquer the world, he cannot pass the world. That's problematic if you want to move fast. And basically 2 movement is very few as range of movement. But basically, however, taking a ward is hard because, as you can see, the red bar, the red line, it's a life, and life is not only used to see how many troops you have on your fleet, but also how many damage you can do, because it's directly correlated with a simple division system calculus. So the Mechanicus cannot take this one because he only has a force of 1000, a strength of 1000, and the planet have 2000 of strength. And if you are weaker than the ward you want to take, it's not the ward that will take damage, it's your fleet. So he had to call reinforcement to take the ward. Let's just say equal from his friends the Night Lord, which we have this time 3 movement range. And with this range, they will go straight, for only 1 action, to the fort of Tangier, which is named by the name of the adoptive father of the Primarch, Lehman Russ. So now the boss fleet are to 5. Well, it's kinda good for Chaos, but Chaos has another problem, because it would take them many actions to down the world, because there is a division of the defensive force strength, number of life, by the offensive fleet's number of life. And that can be very dangerous, because 3 to 2000 will cause them many action, 1 attack by action. So their best way in that case is to call Chaos, because Chaos little demons that they are, has a very unique and peculiar ability. Which is this ability is corruption. Basically, when they attack a ward, win the battle, and do a certain amount of damage, which is 200, basically nothing, the ward instantly is corrupt and change allegiances. That's the way the game is taken, and the way it's played. Of course, there's some more specific mechanism to each faction, and some fleets are kinda slightly different from one another. If you intend, because you have simulated the fight, there is a dice roll, but it's basically useless 4 to 1. If you want to retake this word as the orc, because why not? The orc made found fun! And the orc are very strong. Far stronger than anyone, technically, per fleet, not per numbers. They're quite resilient, the green bastards. They will do their job. And they will do it in the Gork and Mork way. Bloody and waggy. So what will happen? They will fight, they will most likely win, and what will result is, first they will destroy every fleet, which will fall to 0 after a certain number of action, and only after every fleet has been destroyed, they can safely and surely attack the ward and bring him down to nothing. And when the ward will be down to 0, let's just say that the ward is no longer owned or under chaos control, which is represented by the former, that I've just removed, red cross above the icon of the ward. That's it. So, to finish the way the game is basically played, what happened to this sadly destroyed fleets? So this fleet will respawn at their respective spawn point, which is Sartorius and Temporia. So Temporia, Sartorius. And after that, what will happen is next turn, which means next time they play, next week, this fleet will be reborn with a certain number of life. For the Night Lord, for example, he has 100 of logistic point, so he gained 50 of life on each because he split it. It's more efficient that way. And the Dark Mechanicum, assuming he did not move his fleet, has 300 point. So he will have a fleet at 300 life point, which is kinda good. Very good logistic of that. And that's how it's played. You destroy your fleet, they respawn, more or less damage, usually they're basically useless. However, Chaos has a very interesting ability. What is this ability? Let's assume he has a refill. He can simply suck planet dry he controls and take all the life for himself. Yeah. Chaos is a parasite, but really, is any one of you surprised by the parasitic ability of Chaos to steal, cheat, and destroy? It's their gameplay, and they're very offensive. That was it for the basic system of the game. I hope you liked the video. Praise the Emperor and have fun!